Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. The 2025 mainline run of Star Wars comics is now on issue number 6, and Lucasfilm have just revealed something pretty crazy. This comic run takes place between the original trilogy and the sequels, so between episodes 6 and 7, and just like so many other recent comic runs, they're trying to fill in the gaps with a focus on Luke, Han, Leia, and the New Republic finding its feet. But in this comic issue, Luke Skywalker gets to experience what it was like for his father Anakin to fight against separatists for the Republic. 25 years after the Clone Wars came to an end, our heroes discover an unexpected separatist holdout, a shocking remnant of the past, a cell of battle droids that were never shut down, ones who think the war is still going on, and who have no idea the Republic turned into an empire. Now if this sounds familiar to you, it should. This is not the first time Star Wars has done something like this. We know Count Dooku's philosophy survived well beyond his death, and the story that inspired this comic the most was an episode from Star Wars Rebels Season 3, Episode 6, The Last Battle, which honestly I find one of the most emotional episodes, because it's a great example of showing us how both sides were manipulated by Palpatine, the ultimate enemy. Both the Republic and the Separatists were being played. And to see fragments on both sides, the tactical droid they come across and then Captain Rex have to work together, I don't know why, but that was strangely emotive. And as you guys probably know, in the Clone Wars and also the Bad Batch, there is a constant underlying theme of the humanity of the clones, how they feel a bit divided about the war, because on the one hand without it, they wouldn't exist, but on the other, they're people, and they don't want to be seen or treated like droids, which is also why the Umbara episodes were so important. How Pong Krell saw them as disposable assets, and nothing more, just cogs in the war machine, and not as individuals. But I think that episode of Rebels in Season 3 is very underrated, where Ezra, Kanan, Rex, and Zeb come across Kalani, a super tactical droid who thinks the Separatists never truly lost the war, so he continues on his own terms. He allies himself with our heroes on a technicality when he learns about the Republic becoming an empire, so there is a brief but extremely symbolic allegiance. Now while this comic doesn't show the same kind of allyship between the Separatists and Luke, the Rebels episode is directly referenced. So no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. Luke, Rin Zinat, Han Solo and their squadron track down pirates who've raided the New Republic to the Fenrir sector. But when a New Republic trading vessel is attacked and crash lands on Loradil, our heroes go to investigate, but what they find is not what they expect. They come face to face with Clone Wars era battle droids, and it should be noted that joining our heroes is former bounty hunter Bailart Valance. They exit the ship. Luke Skywalker says, Mon Mothma said the survivors were in trouble. Something feels off. It's too quiet. Sure doesn't seem like anyone's around. They were alive and desperate to get off this dust pile just a few hours ago, which means they ran into trouble. Everyone stay alert. Something tells me this isn't going to be tidy. Han Solo readies his blaster. Luke ignites his green lightsaber. As they advance, they're greeted by a tactical droid, similar to Kalani from Rebels. This one says, "You are now prisoners of the Separatist Alliance." Behind him, a legion of battle droids. Separatist Alliance? I haven't heard that in a while. Luke Skywalker is shocked. He's heard of the Clone Wars, he knows a lot about them thanks to his studies, and meeting Obi-Wan, Yoda, conversations with Anakin's Force Ghost, and he says, it's like something out of a time capsule. They have no idea the Clone Wars are long over.
The war is over! Lord Sidious promised us peace!
A fight then ensues. Luke Skywalker wipes out as many as he can, but it quickly becomes apparent to him and Han that they're outnumbered, and they need to regroup. They need a plan, just like the clones of the Republic. Han tries to negotiate. He shouts at the commanding droid, "Call your crew off now. We're not your enemy." Incorrect. You are in direct opposition to the Separatist Alliance, and you will pay for it with your lives. Han suggests, let's grab Luke and Ren and try to take cover. We need a plan. But before they can take another step, they are greeted with more familiar droids. This time it's not B1s, it's Super Battle Droids and BX Series Commandos. And this is when their leader references the holdout from Rebels. He says, "We were en route to Agamar before our ship was brought down. It's been years, but our enemies are plentiful and willing targets. We will hunt again. So when our heroes, especially Luke, neutralize the immediate threat, they realize there are more battle droids on the way, but they discover something which gives them a fighting chance. Clone trooper armor. And look, I think this is really fan servicey. It's a bridge between two fan favorite eras, but at the same time, whatever, it's fun. So they put on the gear, and Han says, "Can't say I ever envisioned this, even back during the Imperial Academy." "No time for nostalgia, Solo," Valance chimes in. "Just be glad the furthest you got was being a mud trooper." And this of course is a nod to Solo: A Star Wars Story. They're bridging the two Solos together, Harrison Ford's version and Alden's version. "Those damn clone troopers had it worse," he says, no matter the poor fool they were based on. But then Luke remembers his father and Obi-Wan fought in the war. He says, "My father and Kenobi fought alongside them. They're no stranger to the Jedi, but that's not what matters now. What matters most is that our people are in trouble." And so they go to battle. Here we see Luke with his lightsaber wearing a clone trooper outfit, and you would assume this would make a fantastic action figure. Luke wipes out legions of droids, but then he finds himself trapped and hides under one of their tanks. This is when he calls upon the help of Ben and Yoda. "Obi-Wan, Yoda, can you hear me? My friends need me." The surrounding droids realize he's under there. "Get him, blast him out before he wrecks my ride." "Roger, Roger, he can't lurk under there forever." But Luke emerges on the other side, and he comes face to face with a B1 who says, "You should have stayed under our tank." And Luke replies, somewhat badassly, "Don't underestimate a Jedi." So I'm just going to fast forward to the coolest moment of the entire comic. They do a parallel between Luke and Anakin, using the exact same moves. And if you guys remember at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, the Jedi of the past gave Rey strength. Luke finds his strength in the memory of his father and all the other Jedi before him. He says, "I leap into battle, lightsaber drawn like I imagine many Jedi did before me, like a Skywalker before me. But am I up to the task? Can I save my friends? Can I avoid the traps and temptations that got my father? I can. I must." In the end, they destroy the entire cell, and with a bit of help, thanks to a few of Valance's friends who he called along the way, they're able to successfully escape. Certainly one of the more memorable comic issues in recent Star Wars memory. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you always.